Hello cruisers, I'm Jordan with Beyond the Dock. Today for Cruise News we're covering an adult warning from Carnival, a new ship from Royal Caribbean, and the answer to why a once popular port is now being avoided by cruise lines. That and more for today, Thursday, February 20th, 2025. Let's dive in. First up is Virgin Voyages' Valiant Lady is avoiding Cozumel, Mexico in an upcoming cruise. They say it's due to congestion. The port at Cozumel can handle up to 10 ships at one time, and when Valiant Lady was scheduled to go, there would have been under 8, which is what they like to keep it at. But there were some mega ships heading in, so Virgin decided to go to Grand Turks instead. So you can imagine a lot of the passengers were quite happy with this change. Many have been to Cozumel multiple times, and some have never been to Grand Turk, so they're excited. I've only been to Grand Turk once, and that experience was unique. It was my first cruise, and we got off the ship, and the first thing anyone said to us was, "Want a little green?" Yeah, I was surprised. They were smoking pot on the beach. It was down a little bit away from where all the chairs were set up, but it was surprising. What do you think? Would you rather go to Cozumel or Grand Turk? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to know. The much anticipated Brilliant Lady from Virgin Voyages has itinerary set for September of this year to go on a fall foliage cruise up in the Northeast and Canada. So I had booked Brilliant Lady. I had it booked for, I believe it was March of 2024, and the ship wasn't ready yet. So they refunded everything and I went on Valiant Lady instead. Same itinerary though, so that was lucky and fortunate. So it has taken a while for this ship to get out, but this is the first time that Virgin has had a foliage cruise out in the Northeast. I have a fall foliage cruise booked. It's on Princess though in October, not on Virgin. I really did like Virgin when I sailed it last, but I haven't sailed Princess yet, so I'm excited. And I've never been on a fall foliage cruise, so this will be something new. I really enjoy those beaches, but I think it will be great. I haven't been to that part of the country before, or either country, Canada. I haven't been to that part of Canada or that part of the US. I'm excited for that. Have you ever been on a fall foliage cruise? Let me know. I'm excited to hear about it. Next, we have Royal Caribbean announced their new Icon class ship will port out of Barcelona, Spain in 2026. Before making its home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida in November of 2026. So they named this ship Legend of the Seas, and it is the third ship in their Icon class. With all Royal Caribbean ships, this one is sure to impress. We'll get more information on Legend of the Seas later on as more details come out about it, but until then, I'm looking forward to it. Carnival Cruise Line issued an adult warning to passengers. Now, this may come as a shock, but some people are easily offended. If you've never been on a Carnival cruise, they have shows that are geared more towards adults, and then they have family-friendly shows. A lot of these are comedy shows. So some passengers complained that they were offended by going to the late-night adult comedy show, and they wanted the comedian fired, or they said they would never cruise on Carnival again, whatever the reason is. They were offended. I mean, that's what comedians do. They offend people. That's what they do. And so Carnival issued a warning, letting passengers know that if they're easily offended, they should not go to these late night adult comedy shows. Stick to the family-friendly shows. Family-friendly shows don't swear and they don't talk about vulgar things like they would at the adult show. So they remind guests to choose the entertainment that suits their comfort level. While we're on the subject of Carnival, recently they announced that they're going to add a certain feature to cabins that some passengers are not happy about, but others welcome it. Have you ever been in a cabin, maybe an interior where there's no light at all and you have to get up and go to the bathroom and you don't want to wake up anyone? Well, I remember doing this once, and there just happened to be an open suitcase on the floor in the middle of the floor. I mean, the cabins are small anyway. There shouldn't be an open suitcase in the middle of the floor at night. Anyway, there was. So I tripped on that, and it was really fun. Well, in order to help with that, Carnival is adding motion activated night lights. Now, I haven't seen these yet, but I hear that the light can still be kind of bright and wake up everybody in the room anyway. I'm sure it's not as bright as the overhead light, but a night light should be enough light just to get you to where you need to go. A lot of people mention that the light coming from under the door is enough for them, and that may be the case for many, depending on the cabin setup. People mentioned that they were still covering up these night lights with a towel or blanket or putting pillows up over them just because they're too bright. Now, currently there's not a way to turn off the night lights, so you're stuck covering them up if you don't like them. So what do you think about the night light? Well, let me know in the comments below. I usually just use my phone as a night light if I need to see something, but sometimes the outlets aren't close enough to where you could reach your phone from your bed if you're charging overnight. So let me know what you think in the comments. And last on our list is a cruise port that many cruise lines are now avoiding. This particular port has experienced hundreds of earthquakes this year. So cruise lines aren't sure if the volcano is going to erupt soon, or if earthquakes are going to get stronger and stronger and could put passengers at risk. So they're just avoiding it altogether. So this port is Santorini, Greece. Authorities have currently placed Santorini under a state of emergency until at least March 3rd. Though the earthquakes aren't uncommon in this area. The tremors are typically pretty light. Recently, they've been getting stronger. They had a 5.3 magnitude tremor just last week. Many of the residents and local workers have fled, fearing stronger earthquakes and the potential of a volcanic eruption. This little island usually welcomes thousands of tourists every day during peak season, but with all of these earthquakes, it's just not safe. So currently, not all cruise lines are removing Santorini from their itinerary, especially on cruises farther out in March and later, but it's good to keep an eye on. If you have a cruise booked for Santorini, keep an eye on the news and check with the cruise line to be aware of whether or not your itinerary may change. That's all your cruise news for today. We talked about Carnival and Virgin Voyages, Royal Caribbean, and the earthquake island Santorini. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're always kept up to date with the latest cruise tips and information. And let me know in the comments below, is there anything you'd like to see? What are some of the questions you might have? Let me know, and we will see if we can answer those questions in a video or in the comments. Until next time, we'll see you as we venture beyond the dock. Happy cruising.